Hello everybody and welcome to Tech Issues 24, where I don't like the over-under for this show running through, but that shall not stop us from having fun, because, as I said a minute ago, but no one was watching because the show didn't work, if you sweat every single thing that can go wrong in life. No, that's not what I said. What was my message? If you get upset about all the small stuff that goes wrong around you, then you're gonna be upset a lot. So I'm trying to teach myself, and failing, to be more laid back. Because I think it's a recipe for misery to get upset about a lot of random things that are or are not in your control. What is in my control? And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm as much to blame as anybody for all the tech stuff, because I never figure anything out. What is under my control, however, is to crush all of you. And that is what we shall be doing in this show. I don't like the intro. I forgot to mention. Like movie stuff. Anyway, Banter Blitz. Challenge me to a 5-minute game. And we shall play or not. Like, who cares? You guys probably care. And I care deeply. Once I stop winning, then I start caring. I'll pretend to be carefree, but you know it's a lie. Because you've seen me after losing or not winning a game. I do steam a lot. Therefore, I must care. After all these years, still caring about this little board game of ours. And let's play a game, shall we? Shall we play a game? Maybe we should play a game. How about our boy Butterfly? You're my butterfly, sugar, baby. And now you can see how I magically. It's a 3-minute challenge, but I've told all of you multiple times that I want 5-minute challenges. Have I not? I'll take this one just to get warmed up, but I'm gonna cancel all incoming 3-minute challenges from now on, because it spoils the fun. It's not like I think I have less of an edge. I think I actually have more of an edge in 3-minute, because I'm good at making moves fast and flagging, but it sort of takes the banter out of Banter Blitz for me, because I just have to make moves. There's not a lot of time to talk, and I don't think that is really the point. Or maybe it is. Then again, I don't like it. I prefer talking about, what's the point of it all? Because that's always a fruitful conversation. What is the point of all this? You're giving me a pawn. I'll take it. I'm a simple man. Bishop d3. Is that how the cool kids play nowadays? I guess it is. I should probably be more scared. But I don't feel like being scared. Not today. Rook f6. Could be dangerous. Once again, very grandmasterly thought process. Yeah, this looks dangerous. Let's go for it. Bishop c4, queen e4, I thought I was in good shape, because I did take that pawn earlier, but rook f6 looked interesting. Then gf, and I couldn't really see a mate, but it did look a little scary. Bishop e4 and all kinds of things floating around. That's one of my biggest issues with the English language. I don't know enough terms for in the air, or threatening, or looming, or coming up, or on the horizon. Actually, I know some, but I'm still running out of them. So I constantly struggle looking for an expression there. As for the game, I'm winning now because I have the bishops and the pawns. Only one pawn, but it's a nice little pawn. He got rid of one of my bishops, which is sad, but I still have that pawn. And I believe that pawn will get that job done. Me, I just like pushing pawns. And I read Nimzovich, my system, didn't like it, but I still read it, and it said passed pawns must be pushed. I think that's what it said. Also said all kinds of weird things about you must overprotect stuff. That part I didn't get. But there was a bit in there about pushing pawns that I could relate to. So let's push. Push it. Move pawns. Get out the way. Get in the way? No, they should get out the way. I don't know. I'm not as skilled as I would like to be with my hip-hop lyric references in chess games. I'm good with pre-moves though. Oh, rook c2. Very risky play by Butterfly. But you're my butterfly. Sugar. Honey. Anyway, that's the last 3-minute game of today because it's so stressful. I've had enough stress this morning. Started when I woke up early. Changed some diapers. That's not the stress part. But then I was looking forward to watching the Houston-San Antonio game. And it was a very sad story because there were tech issues. Don't you hate it when there's tech issues? I couldn't watch the game, and during my research how to resolve the tech issues, I stumbled upon the result on Twitter, spoiled it for myself, and I've been steaming ever since. We're playing another game. Is this a 5-man game? Yeah, it's a 5-man game. Silvo! My boy. Not Silvio, but Silvo. Silvo from Finland? I'm so bad with flags. I should... Is there like a comprehensive online course on flags that I could take? Or maybe some app that makes me guess the flag? That must be out there. He plays a Catalan. I don't know what to do against a Catalan. Do I do my usual boring stuff? I mean, this is what I did a video series about, Castle DC4. And it's fine. It's just, yeah, it's not so easy to win this position with black. And it's sort of dullish. A4, bishop d7, queen c4, bishop c6, bishop f4, and a5 or bishop d6. And, you know, hard to get inspired playing that all the time, even though objectively I think black is fine. And that is what they do at the highest level. But one thing Catalan has going for it. Bishop f4 here, can you do that? I guess it's just transposition. Even though I'm greedy, I'm already thinking about b5. Nah, not gonna be able to do it. I'm still very curious if there's a difference. I guess I shouldn't go too crazy, but I want to go too crazy. Bishop c6 is the normal and probably correct move, but I was inspired by him changing the move order to experiment with an early knight d5. Probably not a good move, but if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. I've been saying that a lot recently. I don't even know what song it is. Try again. Yeah, this does not look like very correct play. What did I do? This is embarrassing because my point was b5 he can't take because after AB, I win a rook on a1. And then I pre-move bishop takes b5, neglecting my devious trick. That's sort of shameful, really. Oh, man. This was the whole point of the operation. He can't take because AB wins a lot of material. Rook hanging, queen hanging. Then I pre-move bishop takes. So yeah, not ideal. But now I know that Silvo would have blundered this AB trick, which makes me like my chances more. Probably wrongly so. Maybe not. Who knows? Rook d1. Can I take something? Looks like I can't take anything. So I probably should just mess around a bit. Knight b4 and I don't know, rook c8, c5 or something. Maybe I start with c5. Who knows these things? One of my many problems is a lack of knowledge. Like so often I sit there and tell myself, ugh, a good player would know what to do here. Or like this is one part of this Russian chess culture class that no one ever told me about when they were like giving away all the secrets. I don't believe such a thing as Russian school of chess or Russian chess culture really exists, but it's still one of these deep fears in the back of my mind that they know all these secrets that they've never told us after all these years. I don't think that's true, but I do think there is, a respect for, even though the Russian school of chess might not exist, but in general the chess culture of Russian grandmasters. That is probably correct, because they just have so many strong technical players, and it has led to people like me believing there's a Russian school of chess. And if you ask Russian dudes, they will tell you, there's no school, there's just a bunch of good players. But who knows? Anyway, this position is boring, and I wish I was a Russian technician to create winning chances here. But I'm not, so I'll just make moves quickly. That is what I excel at, making moves quickly. And being a rook up, even though I could have been a rook up had I played AB5 earlier, and I did not do that. So I'm gonna have to rely exclusively on my backup skill of making moves quickly. Bishop here, maybe? Looks like we all gonna play very solidly today. Knight d4. Can I go here? I think I can probably go here without anything terrible happening to me. So the next stage is gonna be thinking about how to create winning chances, which probably it's just gonna be winning on time. But I understand that that's not always inspiring. So we might as well make an honest effort to fake like some planning. If he goes bishop f1 though, attacking this pawn, not quite sure what I'll do about it. What will I do? Bishop d4, rook d4, rook d4, blah blah blah. Doesn't look exactly winning. What to do? Sometimes you gotta take it one move at a time. Can't convert a slightly worse position into a winning position in one move. At least I don't know how. But there's always tricks. That is a check. Mr. Zilvo, how can I trick you? Probably I can't. Just b3. I might run out of trickery. Rook b4. There's nothing here. Nothing to see. Please go somewhere else. I'm successfully trying to lose this position, which is a skill in itself, but not a particularly useful one. Had he gone rook c4 instead of bishop d3, I would have sort of self-pinned. But even this is good enough. Knight d1, bishop e2. Yeah, nothing to do. I can keep putting fire on myself. Putting fire on myself? Even my English game is not really on top today. I don't want to lose, really. I also don't want to draw. And so it's sort of a conflict of interest. Being a pawn down, and the best I should dream of in such a position is a draw. But I don't want that to happen. So I'm very conflicted. Sometimes you can only push the limits of chess that far without getting punished for it. Like Kaisa and her buddies. They have some boundaries. Okay, where do I need to put my knight to win the h4 pawn? It doesn't really have a square, does it? I'm looking for one, but I can't find one. So can we do anything half constructive? Bring the king, maybe. Bring the ruckus. Problem is these pawns are all on, what's it called, light squares, so it's gonna be kind of hard go too far without making anything happen. F1, that gives me a chance maybe. Might still be a draw. That's still the best position I've seen all game. Might not be a draw. What do I know? I could probably figure this out if I thought really long and hard. Now I like my chances because I'll take another pawn. But this is winning, right? Anyway. And yeah, sorry for that lack of brilliant play, Silvo. I was steaming. Well, I was steaming before the show, but especially after not going AB. I steamed all the way home. And thanks for the game, Mr. Silvo. Let us play another chess game, maybe. What about B-Virus? Virus? B-Virus the Cyrus. From the Switzerlands. I haven't been to the Switzerlands in a while. Where's the chat? I need my chat homies. Let's bring him up. Well, B-Virus, sorry. What is the B-Virus? Sounds like a bad thing. Like the doctor comes up to you and tells you, I have bad news. It's the B-Virus. I would not like to hear that. Looks like the B-Virus is not on his A game today. Not even on his B game. He's not with us. So I have to Abortovich. Also, was it a 3-minute game? It was a 3-minute game. I told y'all I wasn't going to play 3-minute games either. And probably I shouldn't pretend to be Southern American. My y'all is not very convincing. Then let's play A Tribe Called Quest, maybe. ATCQ. Rest in peace. In peace, 5 Dog. Big heroes of mine, Tribe Called Quest. Even their new album I've been listening to as non-stop as I listen to music, which is not non-stop, but a lot. I think it's very, very good. Gets better with all the listening, but all the old stuff, the anthology, I've listened to like a million times. A3 here. This is a move I never bothered to really study. It was never something I want to play with white. I've played this position tons with white, going bishop f4 or g3. But it is a legit move, and it is sometimes played by the best in the business. The idea is to prepare e4 without allowing bishop to b4. And here after knight f3, white sort of gets a hedgehoggy formation, which is not everybody's cup of tea with black, including me. Then again, it is supposed to be a pretty good version of a hedgehog for black, I believe. If you don't mix up all the moves all over town. I've once studied this stuff move by move here, but obviously I can't remember any of the details. You're probably supposed to start with rook ac8 or maybe rook ad8. I think maybe some rook ad8 was what I settled on in the end. So here after rook c1, do I start worrying about some knight d5s? Probably they're not as scary as they would usually be because of the takes cd. While I am in this pin, once white takes on c6, I can just go dc. And it's not really the end of the world, the end of days. But still, could be a bit of an issue. Anyway, let's think this through. What's your th, Jan? Knight e4 doesn't work because of bishop takes e7. Queen b8 is a normalish move, but maybe I can be more aggressive. If I go here, he probably will go bishop h4. I can't speak for A Tribe Called Quest, even though I would like to. So, Q-tip, if you need a German spokesperson, I'm available. Bishop h4. My point was that now I want to go here, and if he takes his piece back, which he should, then I'll go dc, hitting the queen, and hopefully picking up the pawn on e4 along the way. What is all this? We're talking movies in the chat. Deluxe Champion 86 says, Jan, when are you accepting 1 minute challenges? The day you go premium Deluxe Champion 86, I will accept your 1 minute challenge. Ambitious Pawn is saying, new Alien movie, but it seems like a retreat. I'm confused. This new movie called Life is not the new Alien movie. Am I correct on that? Because it looked like the new Alien movie, but it wasn't apparently. So that was very confusing to me. I'm also very confused why I can't take this pawn, because my bishop would be hanging in the end. So I have to prepare taking it. C5, E5, bishop F3. Who knows? This who knows was probably not the right way to conclude this. I was too lazy to count. E5, bishop takes F3, E takes F6. Who ends up with more pieces there? Looks very complicated. Bishop takes F6. Okay, I might have to count now. Bishop F3, EF, bishop F6, bishop F6, bishop E2, and bishop D8, bishop F1. Equal pieces? Equal pieces I can live with. I hope I didn't miscount. If I miscounted this operation, I might lose. Oh, I missed something. I didn't miscount, but I missed even worse. Ugh, I'm dumb. Okay, then I have to find a way out, but there might not be one. Scary. What I missed is that after bishop f6, he can go bishop g3. Zwischenzug. Kind of winning material. So I have to go for adventures I did not really intend to go for. Like rook d2 here, or bishop takes e2 first. Let's take here first and see what happens. It might still work, but if it does, it's dumb luck. It's not often if you miss such a thing like bishop f6, bishop g3, then you can just resign the game, play a new one. So if this does work, which I'm not convinced it does, but it's possible, then it would be nothing but dumb luck, which is my middle name. Point is, I'm attacking the queen and the rook and the bishop. Sounds like a pretty good point, actually. It's also nothing I had planned for in advance. Bishop g3 is actually a move that keeps at least the game going. What can I do? Queen d4, maybe? Maybe? Then queen f5. Gotta be very careful. Of course, I could go rook c2 and I'm fine, but I'm not winning material, which would make me very sad. Really, really sad. But maybe I can't win material. Queen g5, that's also an odd-looking move. Yeah. Queen d4, queen f5. But I can. No. Well, I thought it was queen d4, queen f5, bishop g4, but then queen takes c8 is sort of a good move. So before I blunder the whole piece set and lose on time, or both, I probably should just make moves. Oh, did I blunder rook d1 as well? I might get lucky once again. Rook cd1 maybe. Nah, might get lucky. Ooh. I'm relying an awful lot on getting lucky in this game. What I'm talking about is rook d1, takes, and I think I have time for rook e8 because he can't go rook d8 yet due to back crank issues. Therefore, I'd be winning there. Same thing with rook cd1, takes, and rook e8. So it seemed like that worked for me. And if he goes rook e1, I am in time, hopefully, to go f6, king f7, and stay close to Mr. e7. What you want? You want to go rook e3. Fair enough, but no, at least. The dude is locked up. Still not an easy position at all, but I feel like if I can, restrain this pawn enough and push my c-pawn, I should be doing well, because I'm something up, right? A pawn? I don't know. Very uneven game, yet again. Rook c3, I'm expecting, so I might just go back in order to go b5, a5, b4. In that order or another. One way or another. I'ma get you. I can't sing. And I don't think I'm doing anybody a favor by singing too much on this program. I'm doing myself a favor by, hopefully I'm doing myself a favor by picking up the C pawn. Rook e7, 10, nah, too complicated. Run! Did I manage to blunder my C pawn? That'd be very sad. I think I did, and I don't have time to lick my wounds about it. That's kind of sad. Good news is I still have another pawn. I still have another runner, which I should make an effort to not blunder, because then I'd really be out of pawns. What was g5? It's hanging. I'm also not so sure about this king's expedition of mine. So much drama, so early in the day. But all is well that ends well. That is so untrue. I must take a breather. And then let's keep on rolling. I'm playing too many tough opponents today. So whoever I'm playing next, you will be my stress relief. Now let's keep it tough. Mr. Fireflasher. Oh, a FIDE master. Maestro FIDE. Where are you from, Mr. Fireflasher? From Australia. It is one of my long-standing theories, which I have never been able to confirm because I've never been there, that Australians and Canadians, and I've never been to either place, are the best people. But that's what I'm told, and since I've never gone there, I haven't seen evidence to the contraire. So, until proven otherwise, I'm gonna keep operating under that assumption. And that includes Mr. Fireflasher. Bishop g4, a weird move. Don't they normally go like c6, bishop f1, bishop g4, d5, and I have to lose a couple moves to provoke this? What do I know? I generally don't want to release the tension in the center all that early if I don't have to. And it looks like Fireflasher is very motivated to do that. Is this theory or is this something you made up yourself? Because it doesn't look very convincing, Fireflasher. Between you and me, I don't trust your line one bit. Not so sure about e5. We could just play quietly a3, knight c6, bishop e3. But I'm baited easily. Hang on. DE also have bishop c5, which at least deserves some consideration. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Wait takes rook ad1, knight c2. Ugh, calculating. Rook e2, rook e5, then rook e2, knight d4. That works. Knight d7. Alright, more calculating. ed, bishop d4, queen d4, knight c2, dc, queen c, knight d5, queen somewhere. Ugh, so complicated. That seems to work. Maybe a bigger issue is that he can go knight d4, knight c7, knight f3. And I might not have very much, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. What to do? How do I keep the candles burning here? Here, I guess, right? Knight b5, rook c4, knight a7. I don't know. Not sure if this is very inspiring either. Yeah, should have thought about it earlier. But I did not. So I must pretend like this is all part of the master plan. Even though it feels like this is sort of an ongoing theme today. That somehow the game continues and I have to pretend that it was all part of my master plan. But really, I'm just blundering pieces left, right and center. Especially center. Fireflasher thinking, I hope he blunders rook d8, rook d7, followed by knight f6 check. But I have a feeling he won't do that. And he's going to go knight c4. I'll play b4, and who knows what's going to happen. Probably after knight e6. He has sort of compensation. Because my pieces are a little shaky, like rook b7, rook d8. But I'll definitely grab the pawn and hope for the best. That's where we at. To all my people, are you with me? Are you at? Wait, that? I can't. One secret about being a foreigner and listening to hip-hop is you don't understand any of the lyrics normally. Like, I consider myself reasonably fluent in the common tongue, but rap lyrics, impossible to understand. Like, you have to look them up, and sometimes you'll get the chorus. But other than that, I just make up my own words, really. Rook d8, can you do that? No tricks? I would like to have a little trick, like rook d1, knight e6, so what's happening then? Knight f6, who knows? King f8, that's your big point. You can't expect me to see such tactics, my dear boy. Big champion of tactics. Did not see that. That rook endgame doesn't look very winning, like bc, rook d5, rook f7, king f7, rook d5. All my pawns are idiots, so that's probably just a draw. Yeah. No, I missed that. Rook c7, rook takes b4. What's going on there? I don't know. It's all way over my head. So I'll just hope for the best, as usual. A lot of... What's the term? It's not bondage, right? Like all these pinning games going on here. I don't know. A lot of self-pinning, unpinning, cross-pinning. Pin down screens. All very complicated. Give me that. Now I'm a piece up, right? I like being a piece up. I'm a peaceful guy. I'm not sure if I'm a glass half full or half empty guy. Recently, who said it? I think Pat Riley, I heard in some podcast. He said his answer to glass full, half full or half empty is drink the effing water, which sounded like a good answer to me. Not sure what we've learned from this story. But do we have to learn something from every story? I don't think we do. Like here, maybe we can learn that, I don't know, sometimes the hunter becomes the hunted. Because Fireflasher played something which I thought was very clever at first. This rook d8, rook d1, king f8, which I had missed. But then after rook c7, turns out he's the one who lost the battle for Pinlandia. And all's well, that ends a piece up for me. Let's play another game and let's remember our long-standing policy to play dudes I've never played before, once in a while. Or preferably, like Mr. Nicognito. Nicognito. D4, E4, C4. C4 it is. Nicognito might not be here. Where you at, Nico? Maybe he's hiding somewhere. Maybe he doesn't want to be recognized and he prefers being incognito. That's hard to believe though, because then he wouldn't call himself Nicognito, because then we'd know his nick. Or maybe that's his point and he's just playing with our expectations. Oh my god, this guy says incognito, but he's sharing his first name. Now what should we think? This is so confusing. Knight c3, d6. I never looked at this d6 move. Looks sort of slow, but sure it's playable. Why wouldn't it be playable? I'll just go g3, bishop g2. Hope for the best. Knight f6, I don't know. I haven't committed to d6. I'd probably start with g6, bishop g7. See what happens. You never know if you want that knight there. Or somewhere else. Knight c6. So many setups are possible here. I'll go with this one. This is the most counterintuitive. So-called, is it called Botvinnik setup? I think it is. You go e4, weaken that d4 square. But you have some deep strategic plan to go d3, h3, bishop e3 here, or do whatever, and then somehow win. I think I've explained it well. I want to go bishop e3, but then knight g4 bothers me. I don't really want to go h3. But I will. b6. Not so sure about b6. Because this is fianchetto. I don't think this is the perfect location for this bishop. There must be other business to attend on this diagonal. Like now, for example, let's say you go knight h5, which looks like a good move, and intend to play queen h4. You'd much rather have this bishop on c8, like hitting the h3 pawn. As for me, I'll just try to bring my pieces over. Probably I should. Should throw in some knight g3 just to stop knight h5. This knight h5 really bothered me. Especially since currently there is nothing jumping to d4. a5, alright, you can do that. I don't care. What's up in the chat? B-Virus back, yes, sorry, B-Virus. Was looking for you there earlier. Queen d8, I don't know what to do. a3 maybe. Maybe it's time to start a lethal attack with f5 and some bishop g5. a3 was kind of a dumb move actually. Do I start my lethal attack now? Why not? Can always play some more preparatory moves like king h2. But at some point you have to do stuff. Do I kind of win some f6, bishop f6, queen f2? Nah, doesn't really look winning yet. I can't say I'm playing particularly well. Sorry, Nicognito. I don't never get this. People apologizing for not playing well. That's what you want out of your opponent, right? That's what I want. I don't want a full-blown struggle of two sides exchanging beautiful chess ideas. I want your ideas to be as dumb as possible so I can win the game. I understand that might not be. I think that is everybody's line of thinking. But people will often say, no, I really appreciate the beauty and the struggle of chess. Which I guess I do, and you kind of have to in order to improve. But for me, really, no win is too cheap. And every loss is painful. Doesn't matter if it was a beautiful struggle or an exchange of ideas or a conversation with your opponent. I don't care about any of that. I just want to take your pieces and wrap up the point. Go home. What are we talking about? Nothing much. Knight h5 I can take. Or I could have taken here. But since my move forced resignation, I'm not going to be critical about it. This goes hand in hand with what I was talking about earlier. No win is too cheap. And I'm never upset if I play badly and win. Like some people say, I won, but I'm very upset because I didn't play the best moves. Who cares? As long as you won. I understand that not playing the best moves might be an indicator that you might not win later because you don't play good moves consistently. But generally, I'm fine taking that W anytime. As I'm sure is AGDP2, even though I'm not sure I'm qualified to speak for him. I will anyway. AGDP2 is obsessed with the result of a chess game. He takes no prisoner. He's not above flagging you in a dead drawn position. As if memory serves, did earlier this program. Even though, of course, I would argue, no, it wasn't dead drawn. There were still weaknesses in his position. Who are we kidding? What do I do here? E6. I don't want to play the Nimzo again. Let's play the Benoni terrible opening. I think the experts, do they start with D6 here? I don't know. Who cares? Thing with the Benoni is it's not very good, especially if white has not played knight f3 yet. Because here, there's some dangerous systems. f4 is dangerous. I like the system with knight e2, knight g3. It's also these old school systems with f3, even though those are the more playable for black. But yeah, f4 or knight e2 are asking serious questions here. The good news about the Benoni is it leads to very unbalanced positions. They're very hard to understand, and they're also very hard to analyze with the computer, because the computer will just say 0-60 for white, no matter what the position is. Which is nice if you analyze it with the computer, but if you're sitting there during the game, it's not so easy. The late Vugar Gashimov was a big champion of playing these positions. And he said that, yeah, I know the computer gives 0-60 everywhere, but more power to you playing this position with white against me. A3, knight f3 is one of the main lines where you can do many things. B5 is the main theoretical moves with some crazy long theoretical discussions. But I don't want to do that. I just want to make moves. A6, A4, these positions I think are supposed to be better for white, but they're not so easy to play. It's knight h5, I'm not sure if it's in this position. I recall I saw this, I think John Watson gave it in his Benoni book maybe, and some people were experimenting with it. I'm not sure if I got the move order right. You could make a case for doing it without a6, a4 or including rook e8 first or queen e7 or whatever. But this idea to just put the knight on h5 and see what happens, I think I saw in Watson's book. Trying to provoke g4, which, yeah, I'm not sure it's worth too tempting to provoke it, but it does weaken white's king. So, it's not completely insane. Queen e7 or knight e8? I guess queen e7. So what do I do next? h5? Or knight e8 anyway, just stop any e5 shenanigans. Probably I should go passive, which is my true nature anyway. Why are you so strong, AGDP2? Also, what could AGDP2 stand for? A probably stands for A. G, maybe that's the movie I saw the other day. A gift. No, the movie was The Gift, but let's assume AG stands for a gift that pleases two. Now, that does not make a whole lot of sense, does it? Anyway, knight d2 played. What do I do? Knight e5 looks kind of normal. Or queen h4, just to be nosy, but no, that's not going anywhere. Bishop d4. So many options. So little time. I like knight e5 with hindsight, because up to knight c4. I don't really want to take on d3. So I probably have to take on c4. Then I've exchanged my knight with the better career prospects for, well, actually his good knight too. I'm not so sure about this. But now white has to be careful. If he doesn't go knight c4, but wastes a move like bishop c2, then my attack can start. Queen h4, h5. Action. So he probably should go knight c4. And I have to think about this. Bishop f1. Still some options here. I could even think about g5 intending knight g6 play on these dark squares all of a sudden. But do I want that? Now let's go for action. Probably not the right way to go for action. See, I don't have very good Benoni instincts. Here EF, GF, G5 is unpleasant. I missed G5. Not sure how unpleasant, but it bothers me. Yeah, I should not have allowed that. But now that I have, it's best not to dwell in the past, but to accept reality for what it is and think about what to do after g5. Probably I should just go back to d8 then to prepare knight to g6. Trying to make sense of all this mess. Knight g6 to hit that bishop, trying to undermine the g5 pawn. If the bishop were to move, then f4 would come, and so on and so forth. Blah, blah, blah. Queen d2, I'm guessing. When, once again, I need to think of a plan. Queen f3, similar story. Do I want to think of a plan? Not really. I could, like, rook b8, he goes a5. Does that help me? Guess not. Who needs plans anyway? But yeah, I'm being outplayed here by AGDP2, which is always very frustrating. Like, I win on time, of course, but that leaves a slightly bitter taste in my mouth. I understand I said the opposite like 10 minutes ago, but what do I care? It's always slightly unpleasant to get outplayed and having to win on time. Not for me, because deep down inside, I'm happy about any victory, but it's harder to, you know, keep up this narrative of my narrative, tough word. But it's a word you have to use nowadays. Most overused word in the English language, if you ask me. Narrative. It's everywhere. And what was I saying? I have no idea. Yeah, I want to keep the narrative of being a big chess champion, and that's harder if I have to win on time while being outplayed every other game. Nicely done, by the way. This knight takes d6. AGDP2 is a big champion. Where do I go? I don't know. I just want to flag you, baby. Can I win somehow? Nope. Still can't win. Rook b5, bishop b5, bishop c3, queen c3, bishop e4, f3. Ugh, so complicated. Too complicated. Now, am I going to do this after every move? Still too complicated. Feels very wrong to give up this bishop, so let's do it. Centralize. Central intelligence. Agency. Ooh, it's pawn my queen. That'd be unpleasant. But as I told you a long time ago, I'm gonna win on time. That is the beauty of having what? I don't know. Of having no filter when it comes to just making random moves. A lot of grandmasters would be embarrassed by all the random moves I'm making without any thought. I've never had such issues. That's why I win a lot of games on time. Does that narrative hold up? Not sure. What time is it? Speaking of time. I don't know. Looks like I should do some more of these videos. Let's play these videos. I can't. Of these games. My brain is really just melting in real time here. This is like a reverse Benjamin Button situation where someone just goes from 37 to 85 within half an hour mentally. Like, this is how this Banter Blitz show feels to me. H max 1186 means I should probably crush him because I have almost thrice his rating. However, ratings can be deceiving, and as I've complained about in the past, it's not enough to be a good player. You also have to play well. Bishop b4 check. I shall go here. Knight c6 is typically not a great move in these structures. Sometimes you can do it if you want to play for a very quick bishop d6 followed by e5. But normally you don't want to block your c-pawn with your knight, because you want the c-pawn to fight against the white pawn center, to go to c5. So instead of bishop b4 check, theory here is to play c5 or the very cryptic a6 followed by c5 to use that c-pawn. Well, yeah, if you want to go for these knight c6 plans, first of all, don't. But if you do want to do it, you should do it immediately and then put the bishop on d6, preparing e5. So here you will see, since you haven't really fought for the center, I will grab it. Now after bishop d7, the d4 pawn is no longer on priest. And that normally has dire consequences, because, as they say, he who controls the center controls the game. Or he who saves the cheerleader saves the world. I think that is what they say. I'm also going to try to win with a bishop sacrifice on h7, because that's my normal winning plan in these structures. After queen e7, I might have to change my winning plan, though, and win by pinning, because now after bishop g5, you can no longer unpin with bishop e7. So bishop g5 looks unpleasant. If e5 to stop me from going e5 myself, knight d5 will ask some questions. So the best black can do is probably bishop takes c3, b takes c, and then e5. But not pleasant either. He did find bishop c3 though, so shout out to H max. Probably not related to TK max, if you don't mind me asking. Now we want queen a3. Interesting. How do I punish such indiscretion? Bishop f6 is of course possible. Probably good. But I don't want to do it. I'll go here. Now this is a bigger threat, bishop f6, and then queen h6. And if knight g4, I thought queen f4. I should be in good shape. Queen takes c3, then rook c1 covers the bishop, and I might feast on that knight here. Knight a5 is a decent move. And bishop d3, queen c3. Yeah, that looks good. Rook c1, bishop f6, queen h6, in one combination or another. And the black defensive lines will start crumbling. Bishop a4. I believe the time has come to cash in. Tempted to pre-move this, but I've done such things in the past, and if he doesn't go gf, queen h6 pre-move is a very risky proposition here. So I should probably practice some restraint. Not take. What are we talking about in the chat? I'm reading up on the latest controversies. I don't know. What's going on here, H-Max? It's a tough position. The thing with such situations, though, is after GF Queen H6, you're probably lost. But if you don't go GF, you're certainly lost. So, really, you should just take without thinking. And then, after Queen H6, try to find a way out. Which, admittedly, it might not be there. But if you don't take, you'll just be a piece down for nothing. And that's completely hopeless. So, don't spend time there. Just take, hope for the best. Even though, I have to tell you, the best is not looking great here. Now, I'm threatening e5 with looming checkmate. So probably your best chance is queen takes c3. When if I were to go e5, then you can take this bishop, queen takes d3. And after ef6, it's not yet checkmate because of queen g6 or queen h7 defending. So queen c3 would force me to calculate a little bit. I don't doubt that there is a forced win, but I would still have to think a bit. Instead, H-Max resigns, which, yeah, is not an unreasonable decision, but I would have still taken on c3 and seen what happens. Let's play another chess game. Les échecs. What about Hugo Berthier? Mr. Hugo. How do you pronounce Hugo? Hugo first? I'm guessing it's Hugo in France. I don't know these things. Hugo Berthier seems like just the guy to spring the London system on, which I still refuse to join the London bandwagon, but you have to acknowledge it's out there. It's getting more and more popular. I've been looking at it a lot from the black side for my upcoming video series. Not so much at setups with such an early e6 though. I normally want to go d5, c5 first and then have a look around. Queen b6, so aggressive. What am I supposed to do? Knight c3, I'm guessing, looks logical. So if queen b2, knight b5. I'm still not so well versed in the ways of the London. But queen b2 looks crazy risky now. Knight b5, knight d5, and then something. That's something, however, I would have to figure out. I don't know. I can see a move repetition, but that's not really my plan. Like after queen b2, knight b5, knight d5, I can go rook b1, queen a2, rook a1. But I don't want to do that. CD. Can I still go knight b5? Or just ed? Probably just ed, right? Let's see what happens. Still slightly concerned about queen b2, knight b5, knight d5. That's also very scary to do with black. Ah, not for Mr. Hugo Berthier, apparently. All right. Or does he want knight b5, bishop b4 check? Also possible. So complicated. Ugh. I could also... Do I want to do that? Go bishop d2? Nah, it looks very passive. Nope. I think I gotta go here. I've got to go here. Let's see what happens. I'm curious though. Is this all London theory? As I said, in these positions with e6 without d5. I'm not very well versed. Bishop b4 check. I'm gonna have to go bishop d2 or knight d2. I'm gonna have to think. Ugh. Knight d2, knight d5, rook b1 maybe? Maybe knight d2. Why not? Very complicated. Yeah, knight d2 was better than bishop d2. Because now it's not so easy for black to just exchange and cover things. So he might, I don't know. Knight a6, interesting. It really is very complicated. Rook b1, queen a2, rook a1, queen d5, rook a6, rook a1, queen b2 back, rook a6, ba, knight c7. Ugh, it's too complicated for me. Knight d6 check or some move along these lines also gives very good compensation for sure. But I can't decide. Maybe just develop a piece. This is probably not a good move. Rook b1 felt like the critical move, but I just, couldn't make up my mind. The good news about knight a6 is now his queenside is sort of frozen. But of course my true intentions are to somehow trap his queen with rook b1. And win on time. Like one of these two things. I should probably calculate a bit. This is still not a position you can just play by feel. By ear, as I like to say. You have to calculate. Rook b1 is my threat, which is not that easy to parry. If he goes knight e4, rook b1, bishop d2, the queen is still trapped. Knight e4, rook b1, knight d2, rook b2, knight c4, rook b4. I'll probably end up eating more than him. So yeah, not so easy to free the queen. Knight d5. If I went rook b1, he just wants to take, and then knight takes f4, which is not ridiculous. I guess I'm better there, but it's not ridiculous for sure. I can't see anything better though, so I'll go here and see what happens. My plan was to give this little check. Is that a good plan? We'll find out. Because now I get rid of this annoying bishop and I stop him from castling. It does cost me the g2 pawn, but sometimes you must part with a pawn to win the game. Wisdom. King f1 or king e2? I don't know. Let's go here. Check. Looks very checkmatey, but it is not over yet. Hopefully it will all be over soon, Betty Blue. But we're not done here. What was my point? That's some point where I took. I promise. Knight e8, I think. At least it looks like a funny move. Not sure this was a very well thought through point. Well, what to do? b5, good move. Hanging around, preparing to develop the bishop and stopping me from c4. I should probably have started with c4. So, not so easy to get my queen to where it needs to be. Still. He's not exactly well coordinated, but b5 was a good move, which I missed from a distance. My plan is queen g7 checkmate. I'll be honest with you. He stopped my plan, which is very hurtful. Before I lose on time, I should probably start making some moves. He's done very well to fight off my first Or maybe my second wave of attack. I'm guessing I'm still better, but I'm really not sure. I lost track of who has how much material and all those good things. So, of course, there's always my trusted friend, Plan B. But I thought I would not need him this time around. I might have to rely on Mr. B again. Maybe time for a little callback action. I've been studying comedy, and in comedy, the callback is a big thing. You always want to get that callback in there. Not Stephen Colbert, but the callback to a previous theme. Should probably not lose on time. That'd be unfortunate. And Hugo Berthier resigns. Very tough fight. I thought I was being clever out of the opening. And this position looks totally winning for white. But then I managed to mix it more than I would have liked to. Maybe I should throw in some rook g1 here. 94, 96 check. How bad can that be? Or maybe be a little more patient here. Queen a3 in the next move. 96 check. Feels like this should be over in a couple moves, but I managed to make it a mess. Anyway, good game. Let's play another one. Against our dear friend, Don William. He goes e4. And if those who can't play can carol. That is my motto. These e5 bishop f5 positions, I've talked about those in the past. Short version, white is objectively probably better. At least that's what super strong players seem to think. But it's kind of easier to play with black. Bishop d3 is a bit of a rare move. I mean, they do all kinds of crazy things here nowadays. But it's hard for me to believe that bishop d3 is the answer to all the questions. This is a maneuver I learned in some old book. I've never verified if it's good or bad, this queen a5, queen a6 maneuver. But since it was written in some old book, who am I to question some old book? Looks a bit artificial, then again. You could argue that queen exchange favors black, who has a healthy structure without the light square bishops, and white would want the queens on board to use a space advantage for an attack, blah blah blah. But I'm not sure about all of that. My knight on a6 is a bit funny now. So, yeah. I don't know. Looks okay for black though. a3 doesn't seem very threatening. a3 and g4, playing all over the place. But g4, I understand you want to stop knight f5, but you could have waited for knight f5, then played g4. Because now, after h5, you don't have h3, since then I take and take on h1. And that means you have to make an unpleasant concession when it comes to structure. Either g5, giving me that f5 square, or gh or rook g1, with similar unintended consequences. I don't know, do I go? Well, I think I have time to just recapture. I could also start with knight f5, but why bother? Maybe this knight wants to go somewhere else. You have to allow the knight to make his own choices. Nah, it's made up his mind. It wants to go here. Knight e2, knight g3 though. Maybe you should have thought about this a little bit, my dear horse friend. Rook h3, for example, might have been much stronger. But what's done is done. And I'm kind of sad about it. This was a mistake, knight f5. Stupid me. All right. Now I have the stupid horsey, and I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time to teach this horse how to act, and that it should be on f5, not on a6. Won't be easy. It's like this episode of Family Guy where Peter Griffin acquired a mentally challenged, is that how you say it? A horse with mental issues. And it wasn't easy to teach that horse anything, let me tell you. Most of my animal knowledge comes from Family Guy. I've been looking for a dog like Brian, but they don't have those as rescue dogs or free dogs, as they say. That's some comedian's bit. Probably Louis C.K. Was he talking about free dogs? Like, I rescued a dog. No, you went and got a free dog. No. Probably I should not do Louis C.K.'s bits very badly. The chat is so friendly. Everybody says hi, but it's our boy Karl Nering who arrived. So people are welcoming him. Isn't it early in the morning over there in the United of States? Is that the correct term? United of States, America. As for this game, I'm fine, but since I have the stupid horse to deal with, it's gonna take some reshuffling to actually get anywhere. And let's start this wonderful journey of Mr. Knight. I could have played c5 at any moment, but I'm not sure how much it does really. Where do we put the horse? Here, bishop g3 followed by h3. Could be a rude awakening. So I'll keep the rook here. And finally, the horsey is reaching greener pastures, because we all know that horses like green pastures to hang out, eat the grass. Do horses eat grass? I guess so, right? What else would they eat? Would be fun to have some carnivore horses, though. I would like that, like a horse chasing a gazelle. I'm not sure I'm making any new friends with my views on horses eating other animals, but still, could be fun. What are we doing here? Don William is reshuffling his pieces, and I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to activate my king, I guess. h3 was that? You were doing so well, Don William, and then you give me a pawn. You know how I feel about pawns. Not as strongly as horses being carnivores, but still very strongly. Bishop f2, he's trying to justify his pawn gift by going after my a7 pawn. But you know what? I'm not so sure if this a7 pawn is not a Greek gift. In a sense, you have to take note in order to justify your earlier crimes, but this is not exactly a great transaction for white. Because the remaining pawns are not a pretty sight either. How do I do this, though? I guess this might be the most clinical. These are the games you come here for. Boring grind jobs. Does that sound dirty? Grind jobs? Nah. I can't make up my mind. Rook b3, king g5, rook b2, king f6, rook f2, king f7, rook f4, king e6. But I can, whatever. Well, anything wins. It's just a make up my mind situation. It's so hard sometimes to decide, isn't it? I don't want the king on f6. If there's anything I can do about it. This is once again textbook hook endgame technique by yours truly. By textbook, I do mean terrible. Appalling. King e4, another terrible move. Just d3. Make one normal move in rook endgame. Now all this talk about me being bad at rook endgames. I feel like I've made it a self-fulfilling prophecy that I feel like I have to play every rook endgame terribly. Which, in my defense, comes relatively easy to me. Let's play against the amazing Mortifero. What kind of username is that? Amazing Mortifero. Mortifero? I don't know. Can I Google that? Mortifero. Probably it's a Spanish thing. That, by the way, I thought was a sad sign for the new, what's it called, Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I've watched the trailer, I've seen it a couple times now. And it seems like in every, no, but it's a 3-minute game. I warned you guys, no more 3-minute games, apart from the fact that Mortifero is not there. Anyway, what was I saying? That in all these Pirates of the Caribbean trailers for the new movie, it seems like the funniest joke they have in there is that Jack Sparrow is saying, I once knew a Spanish guy by the name of something Spanish. And I don't know, that's not such a good joke, is it? So, Mortifero. Lethal. Ooh. Who knew? Amazing and lethal. So, in Spanish, lethal weapon is arma mortifera. I don't know. Doesn't mean he wants to kill me. Scary. Learn a new word. Let's play against our friend Off-Ramp from Indonesia. And let me tell you one thing, Off-Ramp. I won't be fooled by your 1500 rating. I think this is your first game on the site. And you are loaded with the latest chess knowledge. You have studied every video series there is out there, read every chess book, practiced against the best players in the world, which are computer programs. And now you're ready to join Banter Blitz. After all this hard training, where you had to abandon your family for your chess studies, you are now ready to face me. But you missed the moment, because just when I took your challenge, you were distracted. I'm not sure if any of that is true, but I'm gonna have to abort. Sorry, Off-Ramp. What about Koinonia? He has a lion. Doesn't he have a lion? That looks like a lion. Male lion. Male lion. Oh, and a little sheep. Oh, that's so cute. Because male lions don't do the hunting, right? It's the female lions. The male lions, they just chill. They say, I'm the king of animals. You ladies go hunt me some meat. Bring me some. I should probably state a little warning here that I am not a doctor or an animal expert or a veterinarian or a veteran. Any of those things. So most of my animal knowledge might have to be taken with a grain of salt. However, I have gone to great length not to watch any of the fake news animal media, to only get the best information out there. So I feel like my knowledge of animals is tremendous. And you can trust me. Believe me when I say stuff about animals. Male lions don't do the hunting. And this position, I don't know what to do. I feel like maybe I should keep more pieces on the board. Just, so we have more pieces to mess around with later. Let's check the chat. Can you guys confirm that male lions don't hunt? I'm not sure how. Don't sue me if you go next to a male lion, get eaten by that male lion, and then actually relatives of dude who watched this show went to male lion, got eaten by male lion. Don't sue me because I said they don't hunt. they might still eat you. They're just too lazy to, go out there and like organize the whole hunting tour. Like, who's coming with me? We have 5 guys. Is that enough to trap that gazelle? Like, male lions don't roll like that. They just want to take a nap. But if you walk up to them and say, you know what? I heard you aren't the king of animals. Like, elephants are in charge now. They might still eat you. So be careful with that information. What are we doing here? I'm bored by this position. 95. Probably at some point I have to go 95, but I don't want to. Like, I'll just make waiting moves. I don't want to do anything. I'll just put my bishops in all the corners. The 5 corners of the 7 kingdoms. He should probably go back. Oh, unwarranted aggression. That's what I feast on. Just like male lions. Might be warranted, who knows, but feels like a good time to put a horsey here. Maybe I should have taken the other horse. And please, write your emails complaining. Jan keeps saying horse in the Banter Blitz shows. Please tell him it's knight in chess. Write those emails to support@chess24.com. Here, what's going on? Bishop d4, e3, I'm okay. Queen f5, I don't know. f3, e3, e4. So many moves, so little time. Maybe all of those things. I'm scared now. After my empty aggressive gesture, I regretted it immediately. Because he has all these pieces in my grill. You're all in my grill. Bishop d4, bishop h6. I hope none of these things work, but they're all very scary. I'll grab a bit of space. Guessing queen h5, but I do have knight f4, if nothing else. Yeah. Still far from over. I still don't know what to do is the main problem. I'll just exchange some pieces. If in doubt, just exchange some pieces. I'm not sure that was a very wise exchanging operation, because I left myself with my dumb bishop on h1. Looks like he doesn't want to exchange dark square bishops, which I think he should have. Just take and then do something. I don't know, bishop e6. I don't think white is necessarily better there. Well, now I like my chances again. Mainly because I can grab material, which you might not know that about me, but I like taking things. Not for granted, but, off the board, that kind of taking. Now what? Rook f2 is a bit passive, but probably good enough. Yeah, I don't know. Rook d6 was possible, but why activate all these bishops? Did Koinonia just miss bishop d4 check, winning everything? It's possible. Well, where? Here I take it. I don't think she did. Or he. Probably he. It's a male lion after all. No, I don't think there was any bishop d4 miss. But who knows? What's going on here? King e7. I'm an exchange up, which is good. So I should untangle my remaining pieces and then somehow win. The usual plan. Don't fork me, please. I don't enjoy being forked. Do I have to make active moves? Ugh. Nah. No active moves. b4 is such an ugly move. Boom! Let's do it. Once again, textbook technique. If that textbook were... I don't know. Can't think of a bad textbook. Knight a5, very fancy. Still don't know what to do. I'm weirdly indifferent regarding everything in this game. It's very strange. Like I wanna win, but the road to that full point, I don't feel very invested in. Probably it's because I need to visit the restroom. But we're in time to wrap this thing up. So maybe I can just wrap up after this game and then attend all my bladder needs. Not my blabber needs, but I feel like I've blabbered enough that I can now focus on my bladder. I missed b4, to be frank with y'all. But good news is I'm still on exchange up and winning. Bad news is my technique has been atrocious once again. Whoa, rook c3. Drama. Let's bring the king, I guess. So close, and yet so far. Last checkmate, good game by Koinonia, showing he is the #1 in the animal kingdom. Unless there's some like alpha male tiger around, like Shere Khan, would probably kick Koinonia's. But if Koinonia is the lion in his picture, he could, I can't show you guys the full profile picture, but it's a lion and a sheep. Maybe he's the sheep. Maybe he was the sheep in this game. I don't know these things, but I would like to thank you guys for attending today's show. Yeah, we had an attempt at a show earlier, but this was the show. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Thanks for watching, I guess. Be back soon. May the 10th be with you. I'm not sure if I'm doing that right. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye. Go premium. Just do it.